and welcome to the Downtown Kentucky Podcast. I'm Austin/Parfait.
And I'm Chris/Oz. And before we go any further, Austin, your mic's sounding a little bit hot, my man.
It's not any different than normal.
Oh, that's strange. Maybe that's on my end.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Hey, if you're watching this later and my mic was a little hot, let us know.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the exact same setting. I don't do any settings with the microphone. Well, so, Chris, how was your week? How was your week? Hello?
Hello?
I'm still here. Are you still here?
We've lost Austin.
No, I'm here.
I mean, we probably haven't lost Austin. I just can't hear Austin.
Okay, Chris, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Alright. Woo!
Alright. This is going great.
So great?
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you never told me you could hear me again. I thought you still couldn't hear me this whole time.
No. It still sounds really... I don't know what's going on. So it didn't happen until we started streaming. What a wonderful thing technology
That's been the intro to this podcast. It's time to jump right into our first story because that was weird.
Yeah.
As you saw, if you saw the title, you may think we're going to be having a deep dive discussion on the really weird Christmas song by The Killers, Don't Shoot Me Santa, which I found out was a song when I was looking for names for this podcast. Yeah.
I was like, what?
You know The Killers, they did Mr. Brightside?
Mm-hmm.
They also have a song called Don't Shoot Me Santa. It's kind of fun and weird. I listened to it for the first time today. That's not what we're talking about, though.
Okay.
That was supposed to be a fun little weird transition, but it just seems like it went over like a fart. So, moving on.
All right.
Our first story is, so this, my brain is flustered. Our first story is about Santa having a gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why does Santa have a gun?
Well, that's...
Is he gonna shoot all the elves? What's going on?
Oh, I wish I knew. So this is, I guess, Jesus.
A publicity stunt?
That's the words I'm trying to say that my brain won't let me. How's it going, Chewy?
Hey.
Welcome to our most awkward podcast ever.
Yeah, we had a bit of a rough start.
Yeah, but it's all good now. It's gonna be the best podcast ever from this point forward. By us.
Hopefully.
By us.
That's the desire.
Yeah. But yeah, so Santa Santa does look like Santa got a concealed carry license in El Paso.
Good for him.
No, I mean, is it good for him? I feel like it's weird. I don't know if I want to think of Santa having a gun.
I mean, do I want Santa to have a gun? No. But if he's got a license for it.
I mean, I guess I would prefer if he was licensed, sure.
Yeah, I'd rather Santa know the proper safety of how to handle a gun.
I guess that's
not.
Fair. But yeah, so there was the I don't remember the exact name of what it is, but the office in El Paso that gives concealed carry licenses, Department of Safety, maybe, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Probably not.
Posted a tweet about how Santa's getting his license, and it was that's the story, and it was just like, what? No, why?
Huh. Well, if you've ever spent 4th of July in El Paso,
I haven't. Is that something people normally do?
You might understand
Oh.
why Santa has heat. Maybe he just really wants to celebrate the 4th of July like your fellow El Pasians.
Is that the word? I don't know if that's what they call them. But
El Paso's.
El Pasoites,
I think that's definitely not what they call them.
people from El Paso is what they call them,
Uh,
I believe.
fellow people of El Paso
Yeah.
firing their
What
guns
the?
into the air. Santa just had to follow suit.
Well,
I don't know.
that's great.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is. It's just it looks like my whatever. We'll fix it later. I'm not recording audio for this, even though I synced and everything. It looks like my Audacity stopped working, so that's cool. So this is a video only podcast, I guess.
Oh, okay. Did I stop recording audio?
Yeah, sure. There's no point.
Oh,
This
all
has
right.
been a technical masterpiece of an episode for us.
This has been a masterclass in technical failures
Yeah.
of a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's no longer recording.
Oh.
It just stopped at some point. Cool. Cool. It's a day.
Uh-huh.
It has been a day. I honestly, it
What
was
a
a really good day for me. I didn't work today. I had a day off. It was a nice, easy day. But then just everything fell apart when we started recording. Jeez.
That's the way it goes.
Well, this is supposed to be a real fun, happy episode. Well, maybe. It's supposed to be a weird. It's supposed to be a fun, festive opening because our first 3 stories are all about Christmas. And
Yeah, Santa's got a gun, guys.
Santa's got a gun.
What's not to celebrate?
speaking of fun Christmas weird things that happen, like every year in multiple places. Once again, like many years, the Grinch got arrested by cops again.
Oh,
It's not. It's arrested should be in quotes because it's never
Quotes.
real. It's like a weird publicity stunt of like cops trying to I guess endure themselves to children.
look, guys, we caught the Grinch.
Yeah. Oh,
Ah,
we're saving
what a good
Christmas,
guys.
even though the story is about a man with growth and realizing his errors of his ways. And they're like, nah, throw him in jail.
Ah, this guy's a criminal.
I think he's resisting. Grab your baton.
Quick, Santa with the gun.
Where's Santa with a gun? If Santas need to have guns to stop Grinches with guns. That's the words to live by there. Yeah, it's
Jeez.
there's a lot of I could have got lots of clips or pictures of this. I didn't because there was just too much, and it's a thing that happens a lot, which I just feel like, despite my personal opinion on the police aside, it's weird that we're teaching kids, hey, look, we're arresting this famous character. It's just weird. It's weird. It's
have a
weird
lot of
at the
weird energy.
least, dystopian at the most. I'm not sure where it exactly falls on the line of slightly weird to dystopian, but it's in there somewhere.
It's somewhere.
It is somewhere on the spectrum of weird to dystopian, and I don't like it, but it's a thing that happens multiple times a year.
It's
America's great.
cute.
Yeah, do we want arrests to be something kids view as cute or so normal that they're used? I don't know. It's
You gotta normalize arresting people and things.
yeah. And it also takes away from the message of the story of getting better.
And second chances.
Yeah, no, throw him in jail.
Having a change of heart.
Yeah, no, arrest him immediately.
Really, the Grinch is just the perfect allegory for the American criminal justice system. or what it would like to be and fails to be.
Yeah.
We can reform people. Or just, keep
Arrest
them locked
them
up.
immediately.
Yeah.
Before the Grinch has a chance to have his heart grow three sizes, let's throw him in a cell 2 sizes too small.
I like that. That was good.
Thank you. I was proud of that one.
Oh, jeez.
Time for our last Christmas story. Not our last story. We have a couple more news stories. Don't worry. This isn't going to be a really short
Guys,
podcast.
Christmas is over.
Well, for today, it is, to be fair, it is 3 weeks out from Christmas, and we had 3 Christmas stories to open with.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's December, baby. This is the
It
first
is December.
podcast of December, so expect Christmas all the time.
Expect news on Michael Bublé or Mariah Carey, maybe.
Jonathan
Mariah
Taylor
Carey.
Thomas, he's back at... No, he's not. No one cares.
No, JTT will never be back in anything.
Hey, he was in Tim Allen's weird conservative show. They brought him in for a couple episodes.
Yeah, he sure was, wasn't
Because Tim Allen's got to bring in his buddies.
he? Yeah.
Well, time for our fun Christmas story. This story's just fun. There's no... I mean, you could probably find a cynical dark side of it if you want to, but it's, in general, just a happy, fun story.
Okay.
There are 2 different Airbnbs available right now. One, you get to stay in the Grinch's cave. Now, obviously, it's not the real Grinch's cave, because that's in Whoville, which is either in a speck of dust or a snowflake, depending on the story. But it is a cave...
You're telling me I can't stay on a speck of dust?
I'm sorry, you can't. It is a cave, though, in, I believe, Colorado? Might have been Utah. I don't remember which one. I think it was Colorado, though.
A cold state.
Yeah. And it was a cave that's, like, made up to look a lot like the 2001 Grinch movie's cave. And it's like, it was kind of cool. You know, it's a cave, so you get some natural beauty of the cave. You know, there's not a lot of fun stuff, because you are just kind of in a cave. But, you know, it's a fun, silly story.
Cave.
And it's cheap.
Now, the real question is... Oh, yeah.
It's cheap.
I think you...
Okay. Yeah, it is cheap.
You did answer my question.
Yeah, it's I don't remember. I think it's based off of like the original release of the book or the original cartoon. So it's like $19.50 a night.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, you are staying in a cave. But,
to be fair,
is there amenities in the cave?
Yeah, no, there's like a bed. There's like a lot. There's. It looks like they've. It's probably. I don't know how much amenities, because I didn't do a ton of research on it. But I definitely saw a shot of like a really nice bed, which makes me think they have a lot of other stuff. It is in Boulder, Utah. My mother was saying.
Thank you, Shelley.
I guess she's listening to the podcast today.
I guess so.
Did not expect that. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so that. Thanks, Mom. All right, so that's in Boulder, Utah. And I don't know how many the exact amenities, but it does seem like they've made it nice.
I'd like to imagine that the shower is just a pile of trash that the Grinch rolls around in.
I don't know for sure, but I highly doubt it.
Oh, man, come on.
Well, if you want more places from movies to stay in, that's actually only the first half of that story. Staying in that Christmas places you can stay. In Chicago, if you're there... You can stay in the gosh darn mansion that the McAllister family live in Home Alone.
Is that also going to be $19.59?
It's about $20 if I remember right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's also it's a publicity stunt. They're just doing it real. A lot of these are real cheap. So those both are
okay.
But to also be fair though, in the modern society we live in, good luck probably getting either of those as that, because bots probably bought it up and are selling it for 10 times as much immediately.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's probably how that actually works. But the people who are putting this on are trying to make them affordable, fun little getaways.
Yeah, trying.
But they're not, probably. Or they were, and they're already gone, and there's no point in me telling you this story.
Yeah, sorry guys, if you're taking any trips to Boulder, Utah, or Chicago.
The Chicago one's more likely.
Yeah.
You could be
Maybe
in Chicago.
you'll get to stay with some strangers in the McAllister house, and then they'll leave you alone. Just like Kevin. Or, what's his name? Is it Kevin?
It's Kevin, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, well, I've only watched Home Alone like once.
Yeah. We discuss you not liking Home Alone in a future podcast people can hear.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so moving on past Christmas. Christmas is over. Goodbye. Get out of here. It's January
see you guys
now.
Well, next week, most likely.
Yeah, next week. Or later in this podcast, we talk about Christmas again.
Oh.
Because Movie Club Commentary is all Christmas this month, because it's Christmas month. So there will be Christmas talk today still. Taking a break from Christmas talk, though, we have a story, a fun little weird story, about a video game. Chris, have you ever heard of the video game? You have of the video game Sneak King?
Yeah.
So Sneak King is a video game
made by Burger King.
Yeah, one of I believe 3 video games Burger King made back in their peak, I guess.
Yeah. Heyday, if you could call
of the mid 2000s Burger King.
Burger King existed a heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Burger King.
yeah, well, that does exist. So it is a game that I was gonna write down the man's name, but I got a little behind on getting ready today, so I didn't. There's a man who is, I believe, a wrestler, which piqued my interest because I'm a huge wrestling fan. But that's not actually important to the story. It just happens to be a fact about him. Who decided as a joke. Well, first he bought the 3 Burger King games because that's fun. Cool. These are weird collectible items.
Yeah, which are the ones that he has displayed.
Well, we haven't got to the picture yet.
In the back.
We haven't showed the picture yet because I want this to be a big reveal when we get to.
Okay.
Yeah. So there, he initially bought. After that, he saw on eBay or Craigslist or something, or at a yard sale. I don't remember exactly the details, but somewhere he found secondhand 50 more copies of the game, and it was like, well, I'll buy 50 more copies. It's funny. That's stupid. All right.
So now stupid funny.
Now the man owns 51 copies of the game. Well, him and around I believe that time is when him and his friends started a YouTube channel about this process. And then they discover a different collector who happened to have 1,000 copies of the game that they were able to buy off of him. Yeah, and now they currently have 2,076 copies of the game.
That's a whole lot of Sneak King.
That is a lot of Sneak King. Now you guys can see the picture to see the insane mass of it. It's crazy.
So many copies of Sneak King.
I'm not going to say quoted because I don't remember the exact quote, but the general a quote similar to what he has said at some point. Chewy, that's a great question. Well,
yeah.
The answer he gave, let me actually look this up so I don't misquote it.
Because it was funny.
Basically. Let me pull up this. This is from Kotaku, so just giving a little, sources here, because we're reputable journalists.
Copies of Sneak King.
If you ask Leroy Patterson, which is the man's name, why he's doing this, his stock answer is, if they are worth something someday, we are rich. If they are worth nothing, it's a funny story and journey.
Yeah.
I also want to correct myself. I said 2,076. Was my dyslexia. It is 2,706 copies of the game he owns.
Yes.
Very
2,700
close
Sneak Kings.
to 3,000 copies of the game Sneak King. And you may be thinking, hey, he might be close to cornering the market. And he might be for games that are still in circulation. I don't know. There's no way to know that for sure. But he will never probably amass the total amount of this game because reportedly over 2 million of this game were produced back when it was made.
Yeah.
Because Burger King, I guess, thought that 2 million people were going to want to play their Burger King sneaking game.
Yeah, I guess they did think that.
They did.
For reasons I don't think any of us will ever truly understand.
No. It does look like in this picture that he might only be buying the Xbox 360 version, but I do believe this game was one of those transitional time period games. I believe it is also available on the Xbox.
Oh wow.
Yeah. If you are a viewer of this at some point and you do own this game, you could probably reach out to him and he'd probably love to buy it off of you. If you happen to own a copy of this, I'm sure he'd be willing to buy it. But odds are you probably threw this game away when you got rid of your Xbox 360 years ago, because why would you keep this? Most people did not assume that's going to be worth something like he did. Well, I don't think he did. I think initially it was just a joke. It started as a joke, and now it's gotten to the point where he has 2,700 copies, and now, how do you stop? You can't stop.
How much that cost, because I mean,
I don't think there was any prices given whatsoever in the Kotaku article.
You can't assume that, Sneak King is a super valuable game.
Let's see. Let me do a quick Google search. How
innately
much can I get for a copy of Sneak King right now?
Yeah, what's the cheapest copy of Sneak King you can find?
$3.
Okay. That makes sense.
All 3 games, it does look like it costs $8 if you want to buy all 3.
Yeah, $3. I'm also finding a 99-cent copy.
If you would like a hundred, if you want to start your own collection, you can get a 150 game lot of these games for $60. For it looks like 150, some sort of split version of those 3 games. All right.
I'll start my own Sneak King collection.
You can start your own collection, Chris. You could be the next Sneak King guy.
I could be the next Sneak King.
Take that, Leroy Patterson. Now Chris is on the case.
With 2,700 copies of Sneak King.
Chris, there's 2 million out there. You can do it.
I could collect 1 million. 1 million copies of Sneak King.
You gotta collect 1 million in one so he can't beat you.
Guys, once we get big, you have to support my
Please start sending. When we start having a when inevitably we open a PO box, please only send us copies of Sneak King.
Please do that.
I mean, please. If you also want to send us like fan art or something, that'd be cool too. But mostly copies of Sneak King.
Yeah, if ever we open a Patreon or a PO box, send us money for Sneak King.
Yeah, only give
send
us
copies of Sneak King.
Well, don't send us money because then we might decide to not buy Sneak King. Please do buy it yourself, so we don't have a choice. But only Sneak King.
Yeah, if you're in between supporting us financially and giving us copies of Sneak King, please support us before buying Sneak King. Yeah, no. But also buy a Sneak King.
But if you want to do both, do both. First, you could just go to Patreon right now, patreon.com/downtownkentucky, if you wanted to just support us because you thought that's cool. We're not asking you to, because, we don't offer anything for you at this point.
That's true.
But if you wanted to, we do have that available at patreon.com/downtownkentucky. That's the cheap plug section. Now let's move on to our next story.
Beautiful. Wonderful. On from Sneak King.
On to Sneak King, to my least favorite segment that sadly ends up being weekly because there's too much gosh darn news in that world. That's right, it's NFT news.
Back at it again with stupid NFTs, baby.
Well, Chris, what's one of the most popular NFTs?
Well, if I had to put my money where my mouth is, it would be
Lonely
really
Lions?
misshapen and ugly. And you would maybe call me a
Wheezy
bored
Lions?
ape.
What is it? Something Lion. Is it Lonely? What? I don't know where the lions are. I don't care.
It's the Lonely Lions and the bored ape.
Yeah. Well, they're both in this next story. But mostly it's a bored ape thing. That's right. Hey, the most ugly drawn things you can think of? NFT, apes. Well, how about we did a whole show in that art style?
Ooh. That sounds very unappetizing.
And don't worry, Chris. I'm sure it'll be written greatly. No, it isn't. From what I've heard, I have not watched it yet. I'll probably watch it at some point. Maybe do a review on it next week. I might come in with a little 5-minute how I felt about it. I didn't have time today. There is a new cartoon out there, but that's about the bored apes. It's called Red Ape Family. It's about
awesome. What's the premise of
Red Ape Family? 4 bored apes and their lonely lion doctor. Because decide.
Well, you gotta include the lonely lion to the lonely lion NFT price.
Are trying to leave Earth for a reason that is in the plot summary that I don't remember, and they're going to Mars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And now also, does this help the price of my bored ape NFTs go up?
That's the hope, but no, it doesn't. From what I understand, it's not helping at all. No one cares because it's crap. Because it's pure trash.
Yeah, there was a review of the show on YouTube that I almost watched.
That's
I was
fair.
like, oh, I didn't know they made a show, and I almost watched it.
If you want to know,
not the show, the review of the show, because there's no way I'm wasting any of my time actually just watching the whole show.
I probably will. I'll probably watch the first episode to review it next week.
Now, if you want to watch a good show.
Oh, okay. We can add that here.
I was gushing to Austin before stream because I watched the League of Legends spin-off show Arcane on Netflix. And if anyone's looking for an amazing show to watch,
Watch Viva Pinata, the #1 video game show, according to Ranker.com.
According to Ranker.com, that's right. No, please don't watch Viva Pinata.
Watch Viva Pinata! I'm cutting you off to talk about Viva Pinata.
It's got literally, like, one of the most beautiful animation styles I've ever seen.
Yeah, those pinatas are so cool looking, I agree.
In Arcane.
Okay. I was confused because I feel like that's a review for both shows.
The characters are written well. The
like
story's
Viva
compelling.
Pinata. Wow, this sounds just like Viva Pinata.
No one has ever said any of those things about Viva Pinata.
Ranker person thought it's the best video game show.
So yeah, watch Arcane. Even if you don't care about League of Legends, which if you don't, that's so completely fair.
I have not watched the show, but I did watch a podcast where they did bring it up. And they basically said that their opinion on it was basically that it was what Chris is saying here is that if you know a lot about League of Legends, you're gonna get to have that. You're gonna get to have that really cool like Marvel nerd watching a Marvel movie moment. You're like, oh my gosh, that's a reference to this thing. But if you don't, like neither of them did for the most part, they still really enjoyed it and thought it was just a really good show.
Yeah. So I'd highly recommend that.
But if you can't find that because you don't have Netflix, I'm
watch
sure
Red Ape Family
or Viva Pinata
or Castlevania because that was #2. But really,
that's
Viva
also on
Pinata.
Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you'd have the other one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't think you can watch Viva Pinata. I think that was on like 4Kids TV.
Let me do a quick. I actually have a thing, a browser open today, so I can do some quick Google searches today.
Because I do remember watching Viva Pinata growing up.
Viva Pinata show, animated series.
And it was one of those like non sequitur TV shows where something happens and it's goofy and nothing really matters.
It looks like a lot of episodes maybe on YouTube, like unofficially.
Oh, well, that makes sense. That tracks.
But maybe not though. It looks like maybe only one full episode's there.
All right.
Let's check this playlist. Oh, wait, no. Someone has uploaded the first 2 of 4 seasons. It does look like
2 seasons.
But there was 4 seasons of the show. It looks like someone uploaded the first 2
4
seasons.
seasons?
Looks like there are
of Viva Pinata?
It does look like there are 68 episodes available to you if you are into watching Viva Pinata. It is on YouTube.
Well, I guess the only way I can find out if I really have a negative opinion is if I watch all 68 episodes.
Next week I will also be reviewing Viva Pinata's seasons 1 and 2. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, our next story is a story I never thought we'd have to cover. If you're a long-time listener, you may remember a time not that far ago, late September, maybe early October when we covered it, I'm not sure. We talked about a story about a ninja attack in California, attacking some special ops agents, and you may be thinking, that's crazy. What, did more poor special ops agents get attacked by a ninja? No, of course not. This time, it was French policewomen.
Uh-huh.
Because ninjas, man, they're back, I guess. 2021, year of the ninja.
Yeah, it took them a while to come back around, but here they are.
Yeah, ninja, I mean, the story is basically just that there was a ninja who stole a car in broad daylight, which is a choice for a ninja.
Well, he's a ninja.
And ninjas are nighttime characters.
He's invisible, Austin. He is the night.
No! If you're a ninja running around in the daytime, you could just be seen even more.
Well, if you're a ninja from Naruto.
Oh.
You're not, you know.
Oh, he's not. He was just a guy in a black outfit carrying, I believe, a sword.
Okay.
And the two policewomen did get a little injured. Not too bad from what I was reading, so thankfully, because they were just trying to stop this guy who stole a car. Yeah. And then after they were done with that, they went and arrested the Grinch for publicity. But no, these were French policewomen, so they weren't wasting their time.
Yeah. Instead, they were arresting a ninja guy.
Which sounds like a stupid parody story, like the arresting of the Grinch. But this is real.
It is real.
Yeah. They did have to shoot him multiple times to get him to stop. He was then taken off to the hospital in serious condition. I have not heard if he's still alive. He was shot, I believe, 3 times, but he did also like attack 2 policewomen. So
Yeah, with sword.
I don't remember if
yeah.
there was a sword, but I assume so.
He probably had a sword.
Yeah, I would assume so because he only it's not like that he hurt their face and chin. That sounds like he sliced them with a sword.
Hmm.
But yeah, ninjas, man, they're back. That's it. That's the story. There wasn't that one had less information than the first one, but still was just all right. Ninjas, cool, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of somewhat of follow-up stories, this one comes with a slight apology on, I guess, my part for not doing a little more research when we discussed it last week.
Yeah.
So Matthew McConaughey, last week we discussed how he was considering running for office, and well, he has officially said on Twitter that he is not going to be running for governor of Texas. He did say that last Sunday, so that the day before we covered it.
Yeah.
Our bad. That's really what it comes down to.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We made a serious, continuous lapse in judgment, and we
Oh,
apologize.
gosh, no,
it won't happen again.
Oh, it probably will. I'll be honest. Sometimes I just see a story that's like, that's a headliney enough, and I write it down. I don't then check again.
You as our viewers, and we've let you down.
Well, to be fair, I want to say, we didn't say he was running. We said he was probably going to run, which meant he could change his mind. So he did the day before we covered it.
Literally the day before.
But hey, now here's the thing. If you're not one of the 2 people who watched that podcast live and you're watching this 2 years from now, you may have thought that story was actually the right time frame. But, oops.
True. Oops. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, that's actually the last of our little news story roundup we like to do at the start.
Yeah.
So it's time for our first segment of the night. Woo! It's my subject that I enjoy. It's movie club. Chris, what's a movie club?
Well, book club's a whole like a book club, but instead of for books, it's for movies.
Oh my goodness! So like a book club where every determined amount of time.
Yeah, every week to a month we get together and talk about a movie that we.
Well, we do it every week. Book clubs do it every week to a month, depending on the club. But
yeah, I said a movie that we read.
Oh, did you? I missed that. Because my brain was already like, I gotta correct that because he's saying weird stuff again. I didn't hear the end of the joke because my brain was already moving on to how I had to correct it. I already moved on to the next beat. Like, all right, Chris messed up.
So, anyways, yeah, this week we watched I'll Be Home for Christmas.
The greatest Christmas movie starring Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'll say it. I'll say what we're all thinking.
Also, the only one.
Oh, yeah. And it's a hot piling piece of dog turd.
Yeah. I distinctly remember just as I was sitting through this movie being bored out of my mind because
nothing happened.
Just nothing.
It's a road trip
movie where nothing happens.
Road trip movies. Like some classics. Like one great example is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is a great Thanksgiving movie where it's full of interesting things that happen, and that's what makes it a good travel movie. Is they show things that happen. Nothing happens. This is just a boring story where nothing happens. You don't have this in front of you, but I pulled up the movie poster like I always do. And I have it here, and there's this little tagline under a picture of Jonathan Taylor Thomas that I just want to see if you realize the error in it that I do as well. Or not error, but just stupidity of this line. Somewhere between L.A. and New York, Jake found the true meaning of Christmas. Hey, Chris, you saw this movie. When did he realize the error of his ways?
Never.
Not quite. There was a slight point where he started to maybe half realize it was in the last 5 minutes of the movie while he was already in New York. It was not somewhere in between them. It was
in New York.
Yeah, it was at New York at the very end of the movie. He was like, I guess I should do the right thing. And then still got rewarded for the bad stuff.
JTT, during the entire course of this movie, is just a lying, manipulative, piece of garbage.
Like, I think
just gets away with it.
One of the only characters in, like, all of media I can think of who is as manipulative of him is Eric Cartman, who is... His whole point is how horrible of a person he is. This is supposed to be the main character that we're supposed to find endearing. Like, there's the difference.
Yeah.
South Park knows we need to balance this with 3 other characters that aren't as evil as him as the main characters. This, like... What if we just put Jonathan Taylor Thomas there and he smirks for the 12-year-old girls?
Yeah.
And let's sell the movie on it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, they try to make it like a road trip movie, and then
when they don't want to.
Don't really do anything with it. They do introduce this fun character who is discarded like maybe 15 minutes later, and then the rest of the movie is really boring again.
You're right, I forgot about that character.
He's kind of like a ditz.
Yeah, that was a fun character.
And he has some pretty fun lines.
Yeah, I guess we should... I guess... Trying to make this segment better as we do it more times. Early on, we would just say, oh, this movie sucks, and kind of move on. I want to give you a brief description of the plot as we're trying to get better at doing this. So the brief description of the plot is Jonathan Taylor Thomas's character, who I don't remember his name because I just referred to him as JTT the whole time.
Right. JTT. Because it is just him.
It's just him. He's just a horrible person. JTT is in college, even though JTT and the rest of the cast are all 17. They're all at least sophomores in college due to the way the story is written.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because apparently
none of them look like they are.
Nope. Yeah, so the general plot is he is trying to go to I don't remember which tropical locale he wanted to go to for Christmas. It was with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go. They got in a big fight over it. He got a call from his parents. His dad was like, hey, if you get home in time for Christmas, I'll give you the real nice car. And JTT's like, oh, I need that car. So he goes and he lies to his girlfriend and tells her, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go back to New York to see our families, I guess, because they're both from the same town.
Yeah, they live like a few blocks away from each other.
But both go to college on the other side of the country.
Yeah, the literal opposite coast.
LA to New York, as that little tagline tells you.
That's right.
But yeah, so he lies to her and tells her it's all about how he wants to be happy for her so she can be home for Christmas. And then he also made some bullies angry. They bully him. They throw him in a desert, dressed like Santa Claus. And now he has to try to get home in time for Christmas. That's the general plot. You meet a couple side characters. He manipulates people with some of the most evil lies you've ever heard if you really consider them for more than a second.
Yeah. But why would you? Because, you're hypothetically the target audience, which is a bunch of 13-year-old
If you're a video listener, you see that 17-year-old kid smirk there, and you're like, well, of course he's a horrible person. I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Yeah, no, the movie sucks. I think one of my, not biggest problems, because there's a lot, biggest problem is it's boring. I think another weird problem this movie has, if I'm being more analytical and talking about just the movie and trying to be a little bit of a movie review-esque thing, is I don't know who this movie's made for.
Yeah, I don't really know who it's made for.
It has a couple jokes, some of the few jokes that are actually in the movie that are even halfway funny are kind of really, like, targeted towards, like, adults, young adults, college, like, actual college-age people, yet they cast a bunch of teenagers, and so much of the movie feels like it's not for adults. It feels like a stupid Disney kids movie, which, if that's what they were making, that's fine. But they don't realize that they're making that at times.
Yeah. There's lots of it where it is that, and then there's also parts of it where it's like...
JTT's like, hey, look, we're in bed.
What kids are these made for?
Yeah, and then JTT's like, hey, Jessica Biel, we're in bed together, ain't that great? It's like, what? What is this movie?
There's also, like, a scene with almost full frontal nudity of a young boy.
Of the bad guy boy. Or was it JTT? I don't remember who.
No, it wasn't JTT.
No, it was the bad guy. Eddie was the character's name. Edman or whatever.
Sure.
What did he call himself? Because remember, he always referred to him as referred to himself.
It was something man.
I'm the Ed Man, I think was what it was.
Probably. Yeah, it was stupid.
This you'll be cool is also a secondary tagline for this movie, apparently.
Sure.
This you'll be
because JTT is the coolest cat on the block in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I mean, he was. To be fair, he was. And this movie probably made decent money off of that man alone. That probably got teenage butts in seats. And in that sense, they did their job. But they did a horrible job making an actual good movie.
Yeah, they sure did.
And, next week, speaking of movies that suck, a movie we, spoiler alert, already watched because of some slight changes in our schedule for this season. Next week, we're watching Santa Buddies. Oh, man. I'm not looking forward to that one. But don't worry. I already watched it, so I don't have to look forward to it again.
That's right.
Yeah. Which I guess now, in case, oh, wrong button. Wrong button. I want to go up here. All right.
Nope.
If you are haven't heard us mention it before, because I want to start mentioning it kind of regularly so people are prepared, we are actually taking a break for the last 2 weeks of December this year.
That's right. We won't be streaming.
We will not be doing any streams from December 20th through January 3rd or something like that. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's basically, I guess I could pull that up real quick so I don't actually just give bull crap stuff. December 20th through December 31st are the days we would normally stream on one of those days, and we are not because we're taking time to be with our families over the holidays. So, but if you're a YouTube viewer, pretty much nothing's going to change for you. Some of the content's going to be a little different, but me and Chris have been working our butts off. Yeah. And you're going to be getting a pretty similar amount of content. Like, there might be 1 or 2 videos less a week. You're still getting 4 to 5 videos a week. So, True. If you still want our content from us, it'll just be on YouTube over that December of 2021. So, yeah. But yeah, we will be back in January with our normal insane schedule.
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, so that's general updates. Time to move on to our next subject, which is trailer talk.
Okay.
It's time to talk about some trailers. By trailers, I mean trailer / technically maybe a first look, not a trailer. Whatever. It still falls under trailers. It does. One of my favorite movies, probably ever, just favorite movies, is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. At the very least, it's my favorite superhero movie. It might just be top 3, top 1 even, maybe, if I don't know. I haven't truly tried to think of every movie I've seen and rank them, but it's up there as one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. It's so charming. It's funny. It's one of the most beautiful works of art I've ever seen. I saw it 3 times in theaters within a week of each other because that's how much I love this movie. It is chef's kiss. I love it. And we already kind of knew at the end of that movie and afterwards that they hoped for a sequel, and they had announced they were getting a sequel, and we are getting a sequel. We're actually getting at least 2 with the way this title is named, because today we are talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. The most super long, and probably should have came up with a better, shorter title for this. Yeah. Man is, I don't know, maybe just call this one Across the Spider-Verse and call the next one something else, The Spider-Verse? I don't know. Yeah. If I was making this movie, that's probably what I would do. But I'm not making this movie, so it's not what we get. So for this trailer, it kind of opens on Miles just kind of doing his thing.
Vibing in his bedroom.
Yeah, vibing in his bedroom, and Gwen shows up.
Yeah, from, another dimension, as she does.
Yeah. Well, not actually, she doesn't do that, which is what makes it weird and makes him really confused on how it's possible. She doesn't have the power to jump dimensions,
No, she doesn't.
Well, I guess maybe she does now. I don't.
She does.
I guess. But yeah, there's a fun little scene that I kind of be hard to explain what happens in the scene because not really much. They just have a nice little conversation between each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a cute little scene. It makes me go, oh yeah, I love these characters together. They're great. It's starring Haley Steinfeld, who I love and who apparently is also in Arcane. So
that's right, she plays Vi in Arcane. Watch the show.
If you want more Arcane, she's in that. If you like Haley Steinfeld, if you want more Haley Steinfeld, you could also watch Edge of 17. my actual probably favorite movie.
Or you could watch Hawkeye.
Or Hawkeye, which I need to get to watching. Actually, I just
That's right,
17.
Chewie. Hawkeye's got Haley Steinfeld.
And I can't wait to watch the Hawkeye show. I know we dog on Chewie about Hawkeye. I don't know if Chewie's actually here right now, but if he is, we dog Chewie for Hawkeye being his favorite superhero, because I don't get it as a superhero. Yeah. But the trailer for Hawkeye that came out a while ago made me go, ooh, this looks fun. Because one, I love Haley Steinfeld. Two, I love Christmas, and it's set at Christmas. Like, it looks like it's going to be a fun time. So I'm looking forward to that. Haley Steinfeld's in that. She's also plays Gwen, which is back to what this is supposed to be, trailer talk for Across the Spider-Verse. But me and Chris both have ADD, so sorry about that. Back to topic.
Yeah.
After that little scene between them, and she kind of convinces him to sneak out of the house grounded, because that's a terrible influence from Gwen, honestly, you know?
Yeah.
We kind of cut to just a scene of Spider-Man in a different dimension, it seems. It's a different art style, really pretty. It does look like that's kind of going to be the theme of this one. The last one, if you were to break it down into, not the theme, but break it down into, like, I don't know the words I want to use here, but, like, break it down into its core concept. The original one was, we're throwing a bunch of art styles into one world. This one looks like we're taking a character and putting him into different art styles. If you were to take it down to the pitch of the idea of the look, not the story. I'm sure the story will make sense, but
right.
It looks like we're kind of be jumping him through a bunch of different art styles, which that should be really fun and pretty.
Good.
And it looks like is it Spider-Man 2039?
It's
something like that.
He's the super futuristic, like blue and red. He doesn't really have eye slits. It's just like the spider thing wrapped around his face. Yeah.
Who was actually in the last movie in the post credits. I didn't know that till like the third time I watched the movie, but he has like a cameo in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they were hinting at this being where they wanted to take this, it seems. And it looks like they're kind of jumping through more dimensions again with him.
And it looks like they're having like a fight
battle.
Between
it looks
each other?
like it looks like that he is coming after him. For whatever reason.
Who knows why? Yeah.
No, it is very much it's a teaser with a half scene that's not important in front of it. Like, it's a pretty scene, and it makes me love the show. It makes me go, oh yeah, I love these characters. I want to hear more from them. Like, it's well done, but it is very much a non-consequential little teaser scene.
Yeah, it's very much
followed up
exactly a teaser.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I have no idea what this is going to be about, but it looks nice.
But it's not a typical teaser trailer in the sense of typically teaser trailers are much shorter. Like, they gave you like a full, not full, but like a like solid like 1.5 minute, 1 minute scene to start with. But it's a scene that doesn't matter. So you still don't know anything about the plot really, other than Gwen's there, Miles is there, and Spider-Man 2039 or whichever year it is that he's supposed to be. I don't remember what it is. I think it's 2039. I'm probably wrong. You'll be correcting me in the comments, I'm sure.
Almost certainly.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks great. I loved the first one. Even if they didn't tell me anything about this movie and just released it, I would have been like, oh, I have to go see that.
2099.
Dang it! I knew there was a 20 and a 9 in it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2009, best year, best Spider-Man. Well, it is time for our marquee segment. Not really. Marquee would imply it's in the title, and it's not. I guess the marquee segment would have been the first segment. Our most popular segment, from Chewie at least. It is time for Tournament of Champions. Yeah. All right.
Well, what do we got on the roster today?
Today we have. Where is it? Why is it not there? It's supposed to be there. Is it there now? It's there now. All right. Today, well, I guess a little brief before we show it. I mean, it's already there, but before we explain it, this season we have changed up the format a little bit. There's no themes per episode. This was 64 names pulled from a giant list of 512 names I had compiled. So let's break down what we have today. On our West Coast bracket, we have. Where did my mouse go? I can't find my mouse. This is going to be really hard.
Mouse is gone forever?
Yep.
But on the West Coast.
West Coast. Oh, God. It's not showing up. I can't do anything. Your camera's not on here, and I can't fix it because I don't have my mouse.
Oh, I don't exist, guys. Sorry about it.
I unplugged my mouse. Maybe if I plug it back in entirely,
I'm gone forever, actually.
Yes. Oh, cool. Me plugging in my mouse, which did work, also put me out of focus. Isn't that great? Because we didn't have enough technical issues in literally that moment. This has been the worst podcast when it comes to technical issues.
Yeah?
We have
definitely has.
Ever had.
Woo!
There we go. I am back at least somewhat in the thing, and let me turn on Chris. Look, he's here now. He's been there the whole time. We lost 2 viewers in those technical issues. Was it a coincidence and it was just Twitch letting me know now? Maybe. Were they leaving because we were a mess? Probably. And I respect that. And so, yeah. Let's talk about these West Coast brackets. We have Eddie Gordo from Tekken. He is the really
is he the
Jamaican kicking guy.
How dare you? The Brazilian capoeira fighter? Man.
I feel bad now. I really do. Let's cut that. That's right, Chewy. It's Tournament of Champions. We got Eddie Gordo, the Brazilian capoeira fighter from Tekken, taking on...
Eddie Main. That's the only reason I know.
See. Taking on Disney's Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Then we got our Season 0 champion, Scarlet Witch.
No!
Taking on Astro Boy.
Oh, my boy.
From the manga and anime.
And the movie, I guess.
I assume,
to a lesser extent.
I guess, yeah. Then we have Commander...
That's right, Chewy.
Yeah.
The Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, it is the Tournament of Champions. Sadly, Chewy, last week you were not here during the Tournament of Champions segment. You did miss Hawkeye losing again because he was up against some insurmountable odds. I can't remember who they were, but they were insurmountable.
I think it was Doom Guy.
It was Doom Guy, I believe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who was really
no, it couldn't have been
kind
Doom.
Of third.
It wasn't Doom Guy.
Ladder.
It wasn't Doom Guy because Doom Guy was in round 1 against Bayonetta.
Oh, that's right.
Give me 1 second. Not that this matters, but
Doom Guy.
He was taking on Jack from Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah.
Who did, I believe, win? No, he lost.
No. Yeah, he lost to Supergirl.
In the semis, who Supergirl lost to Bayonetta in the finals. This is not important to today's episode. Back to where we were. East Coast brackets. We got Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
That's right.
Versus Ganondorf from the Legend of Zelda series.
Hey.
Then we have Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb.
No!
Taking on Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, jeez, my boy. Perry, no.
Well, we'll get to that.
Just feels... Oh, no.
We'll get to that when we get to that. First, we have to go to the West Coast.
Alright.
We have to discuss Eddie Gordo versus Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Disney's Beast.
Yeah, Disney's Beast. Well, Beast from Beauty and the Beast was too long, so I had to find a way to shorten it, and Disney's Beast worked.
So...
I have an answer that's really easy to me. And that answer is Eddie Gordo. Because Eddie Gordo has literally fought like a bear and King and all these other...
If you say Disney's Beast, then clearly you don't understand the world of Tekken where he's fought a literal bear.
No. Yeah. Eddie Gordo has like the ability to take... Here's the thing. Eddie Gordo ain't making it out of the semis. But he's beating Disney's Beast, who we didn't even actually see fight. We know nothing about his technique other than he's a big brute who Eddie Gordo has taken down big brutes before.
Yeah.
So, Eddie Gordo wins. That's an easy fight to me.
Big love to Eddie Gordo.
Yeah, Eddie Gordo, awesome. He is one of many Tekken characters that is in this tournament, hypothetically.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's one of few that was pulled into this season because I pulled 64, like I said. But most of the cast of Tekken is in this tournament in the potential 8-season arc at some point.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Glad that Eddie was the first to make the appearance.
He was. Then we have season 1 winner, the Scarlet Witch,
Wanda
Maximoff, taking on Astro Boy, who, I'll be honest, I know almost nothing about Astro Boy, so I did pull up his list of powers. He has eyes like searchlights, ears that hear for miles, fingers enhanced with lasers, limbs that fire rockets, and the ability to fly.
So he's kind of like a little flying tank.
I'd argue he's very similar to Vision, but less powerful. And
much less powerful, one might say.
And, Scarlet Witch could probably destroy Vision immediately.
Yeah.
So, there's a reason she won season 0.
And Astro Boy certainly is not going to be the thing to stop her.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Astro Boy fans.
You're big Astro Boy fans. I mean, I don't get it. I feel like that's a weird thing to be a big fan of. It's one thing to be a fan of, maybe, but a big fan? Yeah. I feel like that's questionable.
Yeah, rethink your life.
Rethink yourself. Come on, get your crap together. All right, moving on to the East Coast. We got the one, the only Commander Shepard. Is it Mask Shepard or Fem Shep? We don't know, cause they got killed by Ganondorf in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ganondorf turns into one of his giant beastly forms and just.
I mean, the question is, I agree, but you could make the argument that Ganondorf repeatedly gets destroyed by a literal child with a sword. Could a big man with a gun beat him? I don't know.
A literal child with the sword. Austin.
That's fair.
Not a sword, the sword.
I agree, but I just yeah, it's Commander Shepard for sure. I'm just kidding.
No, it's Ganondorf.
Yeah, it's Ganondorf.
Ganondorf can be killed with a very specific set of weapons.
Yeah.
If a very specific set of weapons is wielded.
I feel like there's other things that could beat him besides those weapons, but we'll get to those if we need to at some points in life. Before we
Weapons of light specifically, yeah, sure. I'll give that to you.
Next we have a battle that I'm a little curious why your reaction was the way your reaction was, because I'm pretty sure I disagree with you.
Oh, you think Perry the Platypus takes Legolas, huh?
I think so. I think if we're going off of the fact that, yes, we've never seen him use it specifically, but as a spy, he probably has the capability to get a gun. And a gun beats an arrow.
I mean, I guess a gun does
Legolas
beat
is
an
like
arrow.
a boring bow and arrow character. Like, he's cool for what he is, but like, if you put him in a world with any other stuff that's not just medieval, I think he loses. I mean, if you really feel strongly about Legolas, I might be able to be swayed, but my brain went, well, Perry the Platypus is just a platypus version of like a James Bond. I think
he is a James Bondy platypus, but he's never had a gun, is the thing. And I feel like we're going off of like the usual arsenal of these characters.
And I feel like we've seen him use tools though, so if he's near a gun, he'd pick it up.
I mean, he does have martial arts training.
It's true.
We do know that. He has beat the tar out of Doofenshmirtz time and time again.
Let me try to...
I don't know that Legolas has much hand-to-hand combat, like, training. I think he does have a few scenes in Lord of the Rings where he's, like, fighting off orcs. But it's mostly, like, punching them with his bow.
Perry Platypus has used a grappling gun. If he shot that at Legolas...
He could use the grappling gun to yoink the bow out of Legolas's hand.
Because I looked up Perry the Platypus weapons used, and the only answer is grappling gun.
Yeah, no, because that is the only weapon he's ever used.
He also has a platypus-shaped hover jet. What martial arts does he use? Apparently he's In all actuality, Perry is a skilled fighter who is able to perform several implausible judo fighting moves and escapes.
Yeah. Train in hand to...
Oh, you know another thing we're not thinking about? The odd thing that they never discuss in the show but would be in real life?
Uh-huh.
Platypuses have venom in their, like, back of their foot. If he kicks you once, you're poisoned.
Ooh, that's true. And you know what? Based solely on that, I would be inclined to say Perry the Platypus wins, because Legolas is actually trained, like, really well in hand-to-hand combat, and with, like, knives and swords.
So Perry comes in on his hover jet.
But I think, yeah,
I'm gonna build
have
the scene.
that...
I'm going to build the scene so people don't get too mad at us. Perry the Platypus, he comes in on his hover jet. Legolas, freaked out because he's never seen a hover jet.
Or a flying platypus.
Yeah, gets hit with a grappling hook, kind of grapples him a little bit so his arms are a little tied up. Gets a flying kick to the face, poisoned. Perry jumps in his ship and just waits for him to die.
Yeah.
There it is.
I was going to go with something like... he's just not ready or prepared to fight a platypus and is caught off guard.
Also an option.
By, like, a low kick, and he gets caught by the thorn.
See, I think some people might be mad. Lord of the Rings fans, and that's about it. Everyone else is probably like, these idiots. That's funny.
As much as I love Legolas, I think Perry the Platypus does have a natural advantage.
See, and you came into this being like, oh, Perry's gonna die so quickly. No, not on my watch.
I mean, he will die quickly in the next round.
Whoa, we have to go over to the West Coast brackets.
Back to the West Coast.
We got, speaking of quick fights, Eddie Gordo taking on Season 0 champion Scarlet Witch.
So Eddie Gordo starts off the fight, showing off his capoeira, and then Scarlet
cool little
Witch
head spin,
literally obliterates him, and then the fight is over.
Yep.
And Scarlet Witch is a fun character, guy.
I mean, she can be. I think there's characters that could be fun to discuss her against.
She's cool when she's pitted against like other really ultra powerful
beings.
like
we talk about
and
her.
That's about it.
We talk her against like Bayonetta. Could be interesting. There's going to be some fun ones.
That'll be fun.
And honestly, looking at the brackets, I remember seeing there's probably going to be a lot of like episode champions. Most of them are going to be kind of OP. It did kind of fall that we were getting a lot of OP, champs.
Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of OP like fictional characters.
Well, okay, not episode 1's champion.
Champion?
I think it's Rick Sanchez.
Oh, that's right. Bayonetta was episode 2.
Yeah, so I don't think Rick Sanchez currently stands a chance. But we also don't even know who's going to win this one yet. First, we have to go over how Perry the Platypus beats Ganondorf.
Spoilers.
I'm already writing Ganondorf.
It doesn't, guys.
Yeah, it's Ganondorf. Because he's Ganondorf?
Yeah.
And Perry the Platypus is a platypus.
He is. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, if Perry the Platypus has his giant mech suit from the episode who was he? Because Doofenshmirtz was in the Queen of England. Was Perry in just a knight? I don't remember. But he did have a giant mech suit in one fight. So, I mean, if he has that to fight, he does have that to fight giant monster Ganondorf. He still loses, but it looks kind of cool for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All right. It's time for the finals of episode 3. It is Season 0 champion Scarlet Witch versus Ganondorf, who couldn't even make it to the Season 0 finals because he lost in his video game bracket.
That's right. So, let me set the scene.
Okay.
The fight's about to start.
And she erases the whole world? Yeah, that makes sense.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. She goes full House of M and Ganondorf never existed?
Wanda just creates a Master Sword out of nothing.
And
sends it flying into his chest, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Because she can.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just materializes it out of nothing.
Who would have thought? You know what? You know what this is really kind of proving to me is how mad I am at the end of Endgame. I didn't realize I was, but Scarlet Witch should have trounced over loser Thanos.
Yeah. Big sad purple thumb.
Yeah. Ooh, I have all the Infinity Stones. And she's like, I do too, just because of me.
Yeah.
To be fair, slightly to the MCU, is MCU Scarlet Witch didn't have the knowledge of her powers yet, so she actually couldn't do all that yet. But if we're going off of
fairly like infantile in her
if
powers.
we're going off of the character of Scarlet Witch, House of M alone, she like destroys like all mutants. Like she is so powerful.
Yeah. I need the alternative ending to Endgame where Scarlet Witch just turns Thanos into Josh Brolin.
She goes, I want to fight Cable. And snaps her fingers, and he's Cable.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Will she win season 1? Yeah, probably. Will she win the grand finale at the end of the 8 seasons? Yeah, maybe. Who knows at this point, honestly.
Maybe.
I don't...
Maybe.
I have a lot of people on that list, and there's a couple that maybe there can be arguments for, but what if we end up on a day say, oh, this character actually can beat them, and they don't even make it to the finals? Who knows? Because it's all based off of our opinions, which mean nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning into the podcast where we do nothing but share our opinions that mean nothing.
That's right.
We will be back again this week with multiple videos. On Tuesday, we will be streaming It Takes Two at 9:30 on our Twitch, 9:30 Central, that is.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday, we will be not streaming anything. On
That's
Thursday,
right.
at 4 o'clock on YouTube exclusively, you can see our movie club commentary for Santa Buddies. It's better than the It'll All Be Home for Christmas one, because more happens in that movie.
Somehow.
Huh?
I said somehow.
Well, I mean, it's a stupid plot and it's horribly written, but at least things happen.
Yeah, they sure do.
Like, it's a bad movie. Like, I'm not saying it's better than It'll Be Home for Christmas. I think it might be, but that's not... But it's better for completely different reasons. Like,
Yeah.
it's better because something happened. I mean, but yeah, so that's Thursday. Also on Thursday, we will be streaming right here on twitch.tv/Downtown Kentucky, 9:30 Central. We will be streaming probably Game Dev Tycoon. Who knows? We change up Thursdays. It might be Game Dev Tycoon. Who knows what we're going to play?
Could be anything. Find out on Thursday.
Tune in to watch us watch anime off screen. No.
Definitely not that.
That's fair. It was a joke. But who knows what we're going to play? It's going to be a video game. We'll be playing a video game. What is it?
Right.
Probably Game Dev Tycoon. Probably the last or second to last episode of Game Dev Tycoon. We'll see. Then on Friday, we will be joined by my childhood best friend, CJ/Alpha, as he's known here on our channel. And on the internet, he's Alpha. We will be playing Minecraft on our relatively new series, Sacrifice SMP, where we're playing hardcore-ish. If you want to know more about what that is, tune in on Friday to find out. If you are one of our YouTube people and you're like, you guys don't post videos at 9:30, you're right. Whatever day I just said for Twitch, it's the next day at 4 o'clock on YouTube. Bye-bye!
Goodbye.